What's going on, guys? Just going here with a brand new guys today. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Titanfall 2. I'm going to show you guys all the mechanics, the basics. So we're going to start with the basics. We're going to be showing you guys, customization, pilot combat, Titan combat, how to counter Titans, and, the movement system, and just a bunch of different things. So let's start with the movement system and the basics. So the basics is obviously, you can sprint. If you jump towards a wall, you can wall run. There's a training section in the pre-alpha if you guys want to do that, and there's going to be a training section in the full game, I'm sure. So, depending when you're watching this, I mean, this is good for whether you're watching this, now at the pre-alpha, the beta, or if you're going to be watching this, when the game launches, because it's still standard mechanics. So, obviously, you got your standard sprinting and stuff like that. You click down the left stick to sprint. Your aim, your shoot. I mean, those are all standard stuff. You guys go through the training to get a full grasp on that. But one of the things I'm going to show you guys really quick is a little bit of an obstacle course and show you guys a little bit of how you can chain all these different things together. Alright guys, so we're going to run through this obstacle course right here. I don't do the best job at it, but I'm going to just try to teach you guys a couple of basic things. Momentum is a very big key thing in this game, alright? So, you can double jump, you can wall run, you can slide, different things like that. You can melee. Meleeing is clicking down on the right stick. If you jump in melee, you're going to kick them in the face, which is pretty cool. So if you're running and you hold down circle, you're going to slide, and again, you can see I kind of, sort of smoothly chain those, moves right there. And, you can wall run, bounce off from wall to wall. And the more you kind of get this going, and if you can chain them all with perfect timing, it can increase your speed and your movement and how fast you're moving and how smoothly you're moving. And that could be really the difference between life and death, and the difference between, getting around on the flank or escaping a gunfight if you're, getting overpowered or something or whatever. So, there's a couple things to keep in mind. So try to time all your slides, your jumps, and everything right. And if you do that, you can get the advantage over the enemy, my friends. Alright, my friends, so before we jump into the game, let's talk about customization very quickly. So obviously at the time of recording, this is a pre-alpha. There's going to be a lot more customization in the full game, but it gives you kind of an idea. So if you go to your pilot loadouts, you got different loadouts you can customize and you can choose from, in-game and stuff like that. But let's go to this one right here, and then the first thing you got is your tactical. You got your ordnance, which is like your grenades, stuff like that. You got your primary weapons and all their attachments. You got your secondary with all their attachments. And you got a couple abilities here like power cell, wall hang. You can change those for different things, obviously. Let's start at the top. So under tactical, you got grapple. There's different things. I'm sure they're going to add more in the final game. But you got pulse blade, which basically, if you throw it, you can see, enemies through the surfaces. You got the grappling hook, which is my favorite to use so far. I really enjoyed. You got the hollow point, which creates a holographic copy of yourself, which mimics you. You got stim, which quickly heals you and boosts your speed for a short time. And then you got cloak, which is self-explanatory, makes you nearly invisible for a little period of time. Then ordnance, you got your explosive frag grenades. You got your arc grenades, which stuns pilots and blinds Titans. You got electric smoke grenade, which carpets an area with electric smoke, and then you got gravity star. You can see what that does too as well. Under primaries, you got obviously your assault rifles, you got your submachine guns, you got your LMGs, your sniper rifles, your shotguns, and you got your grenadier, whatever you want to call it, my friends. Which basically like your grenade launchers, if you will. So that's pretty cool too. And yeah, then you got those other abilities, like I said, like wall hang, you could, play with those. As far as Titan loadouts go, I mean, we only have 2 Titans in the pre-alpha. I'm going to cover all the Titans when the game launches, but we got Ion and Scorch. So just to cover those really quick, Ion has a splitter rifle, which is basically like a machine gun. You have your core ability, you have your offensive, your defensive, and your utility. So on his utility is a tripwire that you can put down, and if Titans go through it, it's going to hurt them. Vortex shield is to block bullets. Laser shot is obviously like a shot of laser, and then your core ability is usually a devastating kind of attack. And then you got your Titan kit, your TITANFALL kit, which you can see some of the things they do here. And then you got your Ion kit, and different things like that. So you can play around with the kits, see what they do. As far as Scorch goes, you can see his abilities here. He has a thermite launcher, which basically shoots this like grenade thermite launch bullet, if you will. His core is a flame core, so he just slams the ground with an energy thermite shockwave, which absolutely devastates. And there's different things like that. So anyways, as far as boosts go, there's a couple different boosts in the pre-alpha. There's ticks, and then there's amped, which makes your weapons more powerful and stuff like that. Factions, it doesn't really play a factor in how well you do. It's just aesthetics. You got your calling cards, your emblems, different things like that. So that's a quick look at customization. Alright guys, so now that you guys have the basics covered, as soon as you start a game, you're going to be in like this kind of drop ship, and there's going to be a timer, and as soon as the timer ends, you're going to be dropping out of the ship into the battlefield. This is a perfect time if you want to, change your loadouts, your Titan or your pilot loadouts, and you can choose, which ones you want and stuff like that. So once you do that, you're going to drop into the battlefield, obviously, when the timer runs down, and this is perfect time to tell you guys about the AI in the game. Now, the AI are not in every single game mode. For example, pilots versus pilots is just humans versus humans, but there's these AI that come down in these drop pods you see here. They're grunts, specters, and different things like that. And basically, when you kill them, depending on the game mode, they usually give you less points than you would get for killing pilots and titans. Okay, by the way, just right there I got killed by pilot, but we're going to talk about pilot combat more in a second here. So grunts, specters, AI, they'll give you less points usually than you would get for killing pilots and titans. But again, they're not in every single game mode. They're in certain game modes, and it's just a nice way to mix things up a little bit, I think. And I just figured that was worth mentioning and letting you guys know about the AI in some of the game modes. Alright, so let's talk about pilot combat, my friends. So one thing to note is obviously on the radar, anytime you see little tiny red dots, those are AI. But if you see bigger red dots or, kind of like a red area, like right there, if you look at my radar just there's kind of like a red little, beam or whatever, that means there's a pilot nearby, either a pilot or a Titan. Now, Titans are usually marked with red arrows, and pilots are usually marked with like bigger red dots, and then the tiny red dots are AI and grunts and specters, things like that. So as far as combat goes, I mean, it's your standard first-person shooter, so you just shoot at them, or you can melee them. If you have a grappling hook, you could also grapple to them. There's different ways to defeat them. There's you obviously have your grenades as well. But you obviously want to be quick. You want to, try to beat them out in the combat, in the speed, because this game is very focused on speed, and, whoever's the quickest, is going to win the gunfight first. So again, it's your standard first-person shooter. So as far as pilot combat goes, humans versus humans, it's pretty simple. You can set a secondary weapon as well. That can either be an anti-Titan weapon, which helps you destroy Titans, or it could be, things like pistols and stuff, which, help you fight other pilots, stuff like that. But let's talk about Titans. Now, before we get into our own Titan, my friends, let's talk about, fighting Titans as a pilot and things like that. So as a pilot, like I said, you can set an anti-pilot weapon to your secondary. And this one here, I'm using this kind of electric rocket launcher, if you will. There's different ones. There's a charge rifle. There's just different ones you can use. And it's pretty standard. You just shoot at the Titan. Now, the Titans all have this red zone on them. And that's usually what you want to aim for. Whether you're shooting them as a pilot or as if you're in your own Titan, there's usually these red spots, and those are the weaker spots that will usually, help damage the Titan a whole lot more. So that's what you obviously want to aim for. Alright, my friends, let's talk about rodeoing. It works a lot different in Titanfall 2 than it did in Titanfall 1. Titanfall 1, you just rip open their shield, and then you shoot into their mechanical brains. But in this one, when you rodeo a Titan, you actually pull out its battery, and it actually takes away a significant amount of its health. And what you can do with this battery is either call in your own Titan and then get into your Titan, and it's gonna automatically put the battery into your Titan, or you can rodeo one of your teammates' Titans and put the battery in them. And what that does is it increases your armor, increases your health and your shields. So that's it can be very, very helpful, obviously, in that sense. Now, if you get rodeoed and someone, takes your battery, you can obviously get out of your Titan at any time if you want to, and, you can try to shoot them and pick it up. Or if you see a battery on the ground, say, you can get out of your Titan, you can pick it up, but it's obviously risk and reward. You can pick it up, and you may get shot while you're out of your Titan, you may not, but you can pick up the battery, get back in your Titan, and that's going to give you, a boost of health and a boost of armor. So there is that too. There's different ways to play with the rodeos and the batteries, but like I said, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so how do you call in your own Titan? How do you get your own Titan, your own mech warrior? Well, you can see at the bottom left corner, there's a little bit of a Titan icon, and there's a meter. What you want to do is fill up that meter. You can see mine is 87% at this time, and you're going to want to fill it up. And once you fill it up, you can either push down on the D-pad to call it in, and then go up to the Titan and hold square or X if you're on Xbox One. Square on PlayStation, X on Xbox One to embark your Titan to get into the Titan. Or when you die, you can actually press triangle to spawn directly into your Titan instead of spawning as a pilot. So that's how you get your Titan, your own mech warrior. Alright, so let's take a look at the Titan combat, my friends. So, you got your standard melees and stuff. You could punch, You can knock people out. You can squish people, which is like probably the most fun thing to do, I'm not gonna lie. So right here I'm gonna be showing you guys squished it into buggies. Alright, so yeah, so you know, you can obviously walk over people. You get rodeoed, obviously, like we talked about a little bit earlier, and things like that. But one of the first things I'm going to show you guys is you see at the bottom left corner I have a little meter, so it's kind of like your TITANFALL meter when you were trying to get your Titan. But now that you have your Titan, you're trying to fill that meter to get your core ability. We kind of briefly talked about that in the customization section. So you're trying to get that core ability, and once it's filled up, it's going to say core online. Now this the Ion Titan, his core is laser core, so that's why it says laser core online. So all I gotta do is push down on the D-pad to activate it, and it's a very devastating attack. Let's just say that. So I'm gonna show you guys some gameplay of it right here. I actually use it on this Titan right here, and I completely destroy him. Look at this. Look at that. Completely destroyed. Okay, I killed him, I killed the Titan, I killed the pilot inside the Titan, and it's just amazing. So that's what your power core does. And again, you can melee Titans and things like that. We'll talk a bit about that in a second. Alright guys, so like I said earlier, as soon as you call in your Titan, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up to it and hold square to get into it, or X if you're on Xbox One, or whatever it is on PC. But as far as combat goes, you can see there's that red little area on the Titan, and that's where you're going to want to shoot for if you want to do the most damage. Certain Titans have shields, which would be L1, so you can block the bullets incoming and stuff like that. And as soon as you see that kind of striped meter, health meter, it looks like a yellow and black striped. That's called the doomed state. As soon as they're in that doomed state, you can see it right here. If you melee them right away before the pilot has time to eject, you're going to absolutely annihilate the pilot. You're going to destroy the Titan and kill the pilot inside the Titan like you just seen there. And it's so brutal. It is so cool. It was one of the most fun things to do in Titanfall 1, and it's still one of the most fun things to do in Titanfall 2. So that's a little bit of the meleeing action, the combat, the shooting, and the meleeing doomed Titans, if you will. Alright, so what happens if you are the one that gets into the doom state when you're in a Titan? Let's talk about that. So obviously you can keep fighting for a little bit because it's still a little bit left of a health meter, but what happens is it's very risky if there's any enemy Titans nearby, because if they melee you, they're gonna rip you out of your Titan and you're gonna get killed, you see. So right here I get into one of those situations. He almost melees me. I boost back and I eject, but then he still gets me because he shoots me in the air, which props to him. That was a good shot. But like I said, what you have to do to eject, you see it on screen, it says, you know, keep pressing square or X if you're on Xbox One, depending which, you know, where you're playing it, or on PC or wherever. So that's how you're gonna eject. And then normally, you know, I tried to grapple to him, and he shot me before I could do that, obviously. But I mean, that's basically what you want to do if you are the one that gets into that doomed state. Alright, my friends, well, that's pretty much it. That is how you play Titanfall. At the very end of a game, you have the epilogue. If you're the winning team, then you have to stop the enemy from escaping in their drop ship that comes back to get them. If you're the one that lost, you're trying to get to that drop ship and get into it to escape. As soon as you get into it, you're pretty much safe, sort of, but they can still blow up that drop ship and kill you. So it's kind of like one last battle at the very end of the game, which is pretty cool, pretty fun, pretty awesome. But I mean, that's pretty much how Titanfall works, Titanfall 2. So I mean, hopefully you found this video useful. I know it's a bit lengthy, but I just really wanted to go a little bit more in depth with you know, some of the you know, aspects to Titanfall to help you make you a better player, if you will. So let me know if I missed anything in the comment section below. Let me know if you found it useful. I know it was a lengthy video, but I really do hope you found it useful and you know, found it beneficial to helping you become a better pilot and a better Titan warrior in Titanfall 2. So again, if you guys enjoyed the video, please smack the like button, subscribe to the comment, share all the awesome stuff. I'll catch you guys next time, and until then, game on. Darkness taking over.